So here's Eagle Rock Boulevard in the background. I was out here a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to get a I wanted to get a sausage pizza at this restaurant that my friends told me Jonathan Gold had said in his article. He's a food critic who won a Pulitzer Prize. Said that this was the sausage pizza to eat before you die. Was at Casablanca Pizza in Eagle Rock, which is right up the street from where I'm standing right now. And I have a particular favorite pizza place, Vito's Pizza on La Cienega in West Hollywood. So I wanted to see how this pizza compared. However, they don't open until 4 p.m. So I got there too early, so I decided to go to Pasadena to kill a couple of hours. And while I was waiting at the bench, this woman, middle-aged woman, Central American, comes wheeling up with a cart with like a big carry case, a crate on the back. And she's like, in a Trader Joe's bag. And she's like, excuse me, is it okay if I sit next to you and put my bags down? I'm like, yeah, no problem. And she sits down next to me and she goes, excuse me, are you an artist? And I said, yeah, I'm an artist, because, aren't we all artists in Los Angeles in one way or another? And so she goes, I knew it. I knew you were an artist. It's fate. I'm an artist too. These are my paintings. And then I realized that she thought that I was a painter, so I kind of re-answered it and said, well, actually, I'm an artist of storytelling. And then she's like, oh, well, that's good too. And then she kind of asked me about storytelling and told me about her paintings. And she had been in the neighborhood because she wanted to go to an art gallery across the street to show her paintings, but unfortunately there was no one there to see her paintings. So she had lugged them all the way from Atwater by bus for nothing. So she stopped over at the Trader Joe's and did a little bit of shopping. And so she's saying, she was asking me about my storytelling show. And I said, well, it's about, true stories about getting around LA told by people who don't drive. It's a lot of bus stories. And she says, oh my God, I take the bus, which, obviously we're sitting at the bus stop, but I hear that a lot. So I said, oh, that's so interesting. You must have some great stories also. And we kind of exchanged stories because there were long waits. I was waiting for the bus going to Pasadena, and she was waiting for the bus that would hook around to Highland Park. And then I showed her my web page and my YouTube channel, and she's like, oh, that's so interesting, all the stories on the bus and blah, blah, blah. And then her bus arrives, and I gave her the website information, but I didn't have time to swap numbers. And then she goes, oh, well, I'll try to catch a show in the future. Nice meeting you. And she gets on the bus, and another woman gets on the bus. And all of a sudden I realize her bag of Trader Joe's stuff is sitting right next to me still. And before I could say wait, the bus had already taken off. And now I'm stuck sitting there with her bag of Trader Joe's food. And I don't know what to do, because I feel really bad, but I don't really know who this woman is. I know her name is Magali, but that's it. And I don't have any contact information, and she's gone. And, and I'm thinking, first thing I do is I take a look inside the bag just to see what's in there. And there's a can of ground coffee, Trader Joe's coffee, and a bag of candied walnuts. And so I'm thinking, okay, it's about $15 worth of stuff. It's not the end of the world, but still, it'll suck to, you go all the way out to Eagle Rock to show your art, it's not seen, and then on top of that, you lose your groceries. And I know what that's like. I've lost my laptop on the bus before. I've lost groceries on the bus before. I've lost bikes on the bus before. It always sucks to lose your stuff on the bus. So I'm trying to think what to do. My options are to either sit and wait and hope that she comes back and just guard her bag, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit on a bus stop for 2 hours guarding some walnuts. My other option would be to just leave the bag and hop on the bus, but I'm sure someone else will just take that bag and walk away with it thinking that it was my bag. And then my other options are to maybe just take the coffee and put that in my bag because I like coffee, but I have coffee, and leave the walnuts as a consolation, maybe if she does come back, so she gets something for her efforts. And then finally I just decide I'm going to take I'm going to take the bag, and I'm just going to bring it with me on the bus, And if I see her trying to circle back, I'll jump off and I'll get it to her. Or if she contacts me through the website information, I'll let her know that I have it, or I'll bring it to a show if I see her there and kind of reward her with the surprise of her coffee and walnuts. So I get on the bus, because my bus arrives, and I'm heading to Pasadena, and I have the bag of Trader Joe's in the seat next to me. And we go about 2 stops, and all of a sudden I see the woman waving the bus down. And so like I know she's going to get on the bus, and she steps up, and she goes, "Excuse me, has anybody seen a bag of Trader Joe's?" And I'm like, "Hi, I got it right here." And she's like, "Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that you took the bag." So then I walk up to the front, and we reconnect, and we finish talking, the conversation we had, exchange phone numbers, and hopefully down the road, she'll be able to come to one of our Busted live shows and tell the story from her perspective. But anyway, that's my opening story for March. And